Hello, fellow chapter colleagues. My name is Charles, and I'm here to say a few things about our chapter, especially in diaspora, FDC chapter in the UK. My name is Charles Williams Mohanji, and I've been secretary for mobilization. First of all, I need to welcome you and wish you a happy new year. To those who have not been able to go through, we seek God to be kind when He's deciding their fate. Um, as the Secretary for Mobilization, 2022 was a very hard year for us. We lost our chairman towards the end of the year, and this chairman, late Dixon, Prince Dixon Wasaja, was very, very, very instrumental, very, very, very intelligent, very, very cunning, very, very good person of ours. He was a chairman of FDC UK stroke Europe, and he was doing very well. He was down. He had all that passion. He's the only man I've worked with who I was very, 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 who had very, very serious commitment as far as our party FDC is concerned. Um, of course, I don't know what to say. He traveled to Uganda, and he didn't live to even stay a day there. Although we haven't had proper report on how what happens. That's what Uganda is. We have seen in Uganda, investigations are very, very poor. All the intentionally very poor, or intentionally meant to be as they are. No event that involves investigation has ever been investigated, and results are put in the limelight. Uh, so we didn't expect much from reporting system in Uganda. So may his soul rest in eternal peace. Coming back to the chapter, since 2016, um, the chapter has been cohesive, working together, and I could see because of what ensued in Uganda, uh, that is, I would start is when we lost the elections. No, we didn't lose elections. When FDC was robbed of its victory, um, it was mobilizing and drumming up for support, but it was never supported to pursue the thief. So what happened was we saw sympathizers coming and visiting the victim, then all of a sudden decided also to, instead of joining the victim to make sure they pursue the victory, uh, we saw another emergency of a different party, and this time I think it came up to be as a NUP, and the NUP was, yeah, headed by someone who was nurtured and by the system, by especially FDC, I would say, and other parties like DP, but maybe there was like opportunity, like someone would easily sneak in and take everything. So what happened? We saw this NUP coming, emerging instead of joining hands, and this is what I was always writing about. Say, you guys don't do this. Join us, and we pursue the thief. We pursue, and it never happened. So, but this is what happened anyway. Um, So eventually, NUP decided to go out alone, and they said they would participate in elections, 2021 elections, which we never wanted to participate, and we really cosmetically participated because we didn't want to lose a lot of members of ours. And thank God that FDC we remained focused and principled. We had so many issues in our party. We have seen people moving away, right from Muchamuntu, then this lady from Kasisi, very honorable people who of the right mind, moving, because I think it was, and you see, this is what the system is. When the dictator is hovering around you, will make you make um, uninformed decisions, and you find you're fighting yourself. So we ended in like almost fighting each other, and people. A small thing would, small issue, instead of sorting it out, people would run away from each other, and that's what happened. Then we saw also another party coming up, but 2021 elections, in the first incidents, shouldn't have been there. The issue would have been to continue pursuing the thief of 2016 elections so that you can vomit back everything that you do. So by having another party which had a different agenda coming in 2021, it diminished our efforts as FDC, and then we started struggling this side and the other side, struggling to exist, struggling to remain meaningful and valid, and struggling to show that people we lost our elections because we didn't lose our elections, we won the elections, but because of the status quo of the politics in Uganda, that's why. So the 2021 elections, whoever came thinking that Besigye, Dr. Besigye, FDC was not doing very well, had they read the whole thing wrongly. Anyway, that was passed, and we still as FDC, we still maintain that we were on the right course, and we're still on the right course. But having had a lot of factions, I think it is very, very important to realize that we all need each other. There is no political party in Uganda or organization that will pursue the change alone and succeed. We know our common enemy. We know who doesn't want change. We know who knows what it means by losing power, and we should be pursuing them. I'm very, very grateful to see that at the end of this year, I saw that the action of coming to play together, of course, it didn't start there and then. It has been building up, and I have been always behind processing and seeing everything. I was very, 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 very happy to see it happen. And again, the rogues of the regime had to come in and stop the people from praying, which was not good. And it was evident, of course. I knew it would happen because they think by muzzling and stopping you from talking is how they will manage, and it is not sustainable anyway. They know it is not sustainable. And so, yeah, that was a very good sign. I think at the beginning of this year, I feel confident. I'm very happy that if this continues, if the all parties that need change keep together without backbiting, without witch hunting, without backstabbing, this is gonna be a very successful move this year. And believe me, 2026 will not be the same. I don't advocate for any organization or position to participate in elections unless you are there for a personal greed. If you feel you are very greedy and you want some money, a thing which I don't believe in, you will go to participate in 2026 elections. If you go to participate in 2026 elections, you are just a betrayer of the city. You are a betrayer of the people, and that means you want people to lose their lands, You don't want medication, you don't want hospitals, you don't want good roads, you don't want good schools, everything. You don't want independent institutions like the judiciary, parliament, police, everything. So everybody that wants better things in Uganda shouldn't participate in the coming 2026 elections, but should pursue to chase the junta, to chase the people who have been in power for ages and they have nothing to show to the public or to the people they are leading. The idea of that's about Uganda. So when this change came and Bobi Wine came into the limelight and created the NUP, for us as a chapter, we were, if this was of course popular, so I saw a migration of so many. There would be FDC, those who even I thought were FDC, sneaking out slowly, moving on to the other side. And I was very seriously, I was telling them, please don't, for us to make a change in Uganda, we don't need to shift goals from here and there. Because the enemy is one, has not changed the characters and colors, is the same thing. Whatever you think is not going to sympathize with you. Anyway, said the young people, what I'm saying is, I principally, with the late Dixon and Jimmy and Penny and Justice and other few members of the community, remain statute, remain focused up to date. We didn't change at all. We are FDC, and I can tell you, the late Prince Dixon Wasaja died in blue blood, died dressed blue in FDC, and he believed in FDC, he believed in his leadership, in FDC leadership. So now we have a challenge as FDC. We need, first of all, to reinvent ourselves. We need to mobilize. We need to come together. The few who stayed and who stayed back or who kept aloof, waiting to see how things were going, I think I'm inviting you back. And those who are not happy or angry, please, I think, come, we mend fences and we move on together, we live together, we work together. Uganda needs you, Uganda needs change, and your efforts shouldn't be go without recognition. We've been fighting we've been in this thing since 2021, many of us, and I believe, ladies and gentlemen, we need to keep organizing, we need to close each other, we need to keep together, we need to fight on, because the dictatorship is roaming. Now these things are very difficult. I mean, things have changed. People are killed for associating. People are being poisoned for associating. So don't just move from one place to another and think you're making an impact. Stay where we are, calm, stay. If this is here to stay, let's mobilize, let's keep focused. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. I welcome you into this year and wish you a very, very, very progressive and vigorous activities of the chapter. Please, this year, I think, I haven't talked to my colleagues. We shall be talking and seeing what to do. But to me, I think I will be resigning soon. I think I've had enough. I think, and we need to elect new members so that they move on this chapter. We need new people. We need you guys come in and join us. Come in and take the mantle and move on. FDC is the only party that is very cohesive, very principled, with values on the table, with strategic plans, with policies in place. It has been in place for a while. It has established a certain culture and value. People go, and even I think some people who move out of it at a point regret to say, why did they move? But yeah, FDC is open all the time. You are welcome all over. Then to the rest of us, FDC in diaspora, Germany, Europe, Scandinavian countries, Japan, USA, Canada, and Asia, please, you don't need to change. This element of opportunism should have to change. Should not keep focused. Since we started pursuing, since we became the opposition guys, few things we have been fighting to see change have not changed at all. And even if you move, you change colors and whatever, it may not work for us. But we need to work together. We need each other. We need to be at the same page because we want change. We know who to want to change. We know what is affecting us. We need to work together. We need to be very valuable, skillful, respectful, and confidential, and be very, very strategic. We need to know each other very well, so that we don't know, the Mpulunguse, we don't want Mpulunguse in the middle of us. We need to pursue. We need to liberate Uganda. Uganda needs us. We need finance. We need money. If you think money is not going to sweat, what FDC has so many accounts. You can deposit money straight away to Kampala to make sure, and you can even deposit money to your local area where you come from. Make sure there is an office of FDC. Support it, wherever you come from, and you're in diaspora. If you don't know how to do it, they talk to me. You don't need to be too direct, because we know now the regime is very, very, very funny. But you need to support your local area so that we have a wider perspective of supporters from all our parts of the country. With those few words, I think, 2023 it will be action-packed a year, and we need to avoid propaganda, and we need to cross-check on each other, and we need to work together. We need to know each other. We need to value each other and respect each other and work together, and things will happen the way we want. I wish you a merry, happy, prosperous year, and generous kind of approach when community members or party members have approached you. This is very crucial. We need to get the regime change back home. No missing words, no one. If you want your community to survive, you need to change the regime home. And to change the regime home is mean you need to be in the right place. You need to work with the right people. You need to know who is with you. You don't just for the sake, otherwise we shall be losing most important people. The regime right now, which is there, has planted itself very well strategically, and has everything you want for them to manipulate you. But I want to tell you, if we remain cohesive, confidential, and focus on what we want, the regime will fall by itself. They will fight each other soon. They also know. So the only opportunists can support the regime and think they will suppress every member of the community, which is not. Uganda is made up of so many people, so many different regions, and they cannot be succumbed into one pot of what the regime wants. Uganda is good for all of us, not for some of you. Uganda is good for all our children, not for some of you children. Uganda is for Uganda, and we look forward to achieving that one. Uganda is a welcoming country. I don't know. Ugandans are so wonderful people, and we shouldn't lose any Ugandan community I don't want to see one community living or being suppressed. Let's look at this. Let's value each other. Let's respect everybody, every community. No need of replacing Yamukonjo, no need of replacing Munyakori, no need of replacing Muganda, no need of replacing Munyoro, no need of chasing Mushori, no need of chasing Galuru, no need of chasing Madi, no need of chasing Kalamajongo, no need of chasing Mujisu, no need of chasing Musonga. We all need each other, value each other. How then we use our diversity to be very successful into whatever. That's what Uganda, that's the Uganda I want to see. That's the Uganda I have always wanted to live in. With those few words, I wish you a happy